Happy Friday, September 23rd, 2022, the day after, or I should say the first full day of fall, autumn. Days are going to start getting shorter. The days of darkness are here. Start preparing. Today's a good wake-up call, and it takes nature to shock you into reality sometimes. It's not open. Because it was 96 degrees here on Tuesday, record high for the day, and today it's going to be about 62 for a high. Kind of chilly right now. Says it's 53 on the DigiByte console. Not sure. I have to change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit every time I reset the battery. You know, German car, I guess they use Celsius in Germany. But I've got it. It's 53 degrees Fahrenheit right now. That's what it says. And it's usually pretty accurate. Now it says 52 now. Uh-oh, I've gone through a cold patch. So, given that it's getting colder and nature is kind of knocking at the door saying, hey, things aren't going to get any better here. The days are getting shorter. Sun's dropping in the sky. It's not going to be as warm as it used to be. This is the time that harvest occurs, and hopefully you have things that you can harvest that'll get you through the winter. If you don't, maybe you should get them while you can. And why I say that is because just yesterday or the day before, a large refinery in Ohio, I think they produce 160,000 barrels of oil, I think. I don't think it's gallons of gasoline. I think they say it's barrels of oil, 160,000. Somebody said it was the largest refinery in the U.S. I don't know if that's the case, but whatever. It's another refinery going offline. And we've had refineries shutting down because of the current policies in our government and this administration. They don't want new refineries coming online, and the companies that run them, the big oil companies, they're going to say, well, why would we put any more online? First of all, I don't think you can get a permit to do it, but why would you, like this one burns down, why would you rebuild at this point? Because you don't see a future in the oil business, because the big push is towards electric. So as a business owner, manager, you're looking at it long-term thinking, well, why would I make the big capital investment in something that government's not behind? Because face it, government picks winners and losers. They're the biggest spender in this entire economy. They can print the money. So if they anoint a certain industry, that industry is going to probably do well. They're not anointing the oil industry because they want electrification. They want electrified automobiles, even though they don't have the infrastructure for it. But that's where the money's going to flow to. So why would you put your investments into the older technology? I think it's probably going to have to swing back at some point. Political winds will shift, and you know, you can't just go full electric. It's a transition. So kind of foolish to shut down the old system when the new system's not ready. But the point is, what can we do about it? What can we do to make things better, or at least survive? Because I think that's kind of where we're at right now. Survive with as much comfort or creature comforts as you possibly can at this point, because some people aren't going to survive. And I'm not doom and glooming it. You know, I got some of these YouTube channels out there every day. Oh, this is horrible. This is happening. You know, life's going to end. No, I don't believe that. But I think you can make life a lot better for yourself if you prepare a little bit. Right now, the gasoline, I mean, it's up. I mean, you know, it's not $5 a gallon or $6, $7 a gallon like it was. Right now in my area, it's about $3.80, $3.78, something like that, a gallon for the low end. And then the premium's like $4.25. Diesel's still about $5. But if you've got the ability and you know where to get one, you know, like an oil company or something in the area. In the rural areas, it's not so hard. In the urban areas, yeah, it might be difficult, or just get a few gas cans. But what you could do is order a 55-gallon drum. And at the prices right now, yeah, they're a lot more than when Biden took office, but they're lower than they were at the high this past summer. So what you can do is get one of those 55-gallon drums. So you just take 55 times whatever, you know, 55 gallons times whatever the price is. So you might be paying $4, let's say. So what's that, $220? But the thing is, you can get straight gas in it too. You can order it with straight gasoline with no ethanol, which is better for your engine. So, I mean, that's something for a $220 investment. you can get a barrel of oil, or a barrel of gasoline that's ready. And if you've got a garage, you stick it in there. Now you're going to have to get the tap, and the pump, so there's a cost to that. But you could get in the habit of just doing that. You're buying the gasoline anyway. Why not bring some of it home? So in a pinch, you got a snowstorm or a power outage or something like that, you got gasoline. You don't have to depend on going to the gas pump that doesn't work, because when the power's out, it doesn't pump. And you can't pay. So that's a big problem. So I'm just throwing that out because, that is something that's probably going to go up. The price of gasoline will probably go up because even if the supply-demand situation gets better to where there's plenty of supply, you can always go offline. Just like a refinery blows up or a new one doesn't get built. And then with what's going on in Europe right now as far as winter coming, I don't know, natural gas supplies and other fuel supplies, it's hard to say what will be left and what will be available. If you've got the means to stock it up, you got a propane tank, make sure it's full. If you've got the smaller tanks that you use to hook up to your grill, maybe get an extra one. You can always use that for heat. You can hook it to a little heater if you need to, or you can always cook. If you don't have power, you got a grill, you can always cook. So, just some things to think about. Just have it on hand. While you can get it, just get you through the winter, because you don't want to be in the wintertime and not have something that you need, or at least have some means to, continue and survive. So, just some things to think about. Get your freaking money out of the bank. That's the other thing too. I'm constantly hearing stories of people having issues with the banking system and getting their money out of the bank when they want to. And we're talking, a few $1,000s people want to take out, but it's just, why would you have a large amount of money sitting in the bank? Ask yourself that. What do you need to have it in the bank for? If you're running a business, I get it, you got to float, and do things, you're in the system. There's not a lot you can do about it. You're playing the game. But as an individual, give me a reason why you would have it in the bank. I need to know, because I don't see the compelling reason why you would have money in the bank at this point. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense to me, because, you're giving control over to a third party. And that third party does not have your interests in mind. They treat you as a criminal when you want to get cash out. And they don't always have the cash. And that's just the way it is. You might think it's your money, but it's not your money. Once you put it in there, you're essentially a stakeholder in the bank. If that bank goes under, you're last in line to get your money back. Oh, it's FDIC insured. First of all, there's not enough money in the FDIC to cover all the deposits. It's like insurance, if everybody filed a claim, that company goes broke. They're counting on, based on numbers, only certain amounts, and so, filing at certain times, and so they've got enough reserve for that, and that's it. They don't have 100% backing on all those funds. They just don't, because it's fractional reserve banking. And to understand what that is, when you put $100 into the bank, they can loan out $900. They can make up $900 based on that $100. That makes sense? No, it doesn't make sense, but it's fractional reserve banking. They have a fraction of the reserves. And, your $100 is the reserve that gives them the leverage to create $900 in loans and get interest on that. So if they're doing it right, it's very profitable. But see, they always get risky because, throw all this money out there, loan it all out. So they're creating all this money out of nothing. And they're not creating cash because, when you go and buy a house, they don't give you a suitcase full of cash to pay the owner, the prior owner, when you buy it. No, they give you a check, a bank cashier's check, or they give you a wire is usually what they'll do. They'll wire the money. What's that mean? Well, they basically just transfer the money from their account to the seller's account, and they've got their money in that account, but it's not cash. They have the same problem. If they want to take it out, they got to wrestle with their bank. Okay, hey, I want to take out $100,000 in cash because I just sold my house. Well, we don't have it. We're going to have to order it from the local Federal Reserve Bank to get it here, and it's going to take a certain amount of time. You don't have it? No, we don't have it in the bank. It's on our ledger, though. It's our digital ledger. It's okay. Trust us. Well, can I see that ledger? No. So you basically put your money into this Ponzi scheme, this mythical vampire digital casino that maybe you'll get it back, maybe you won't. And as more people try to physically take that cash out, that representation of the digital money, they can't do it because it's not there. It's not physically there. That's a problem. It's a big problem. So why would you have your money in that casino? Well, you can just transfer the money, with a check. Here's the thing. They say that. They say, well, we'll just give you a cashier's check. If you, hey, I want to go buy this car. It's $50,000 car. I'm going big, man. I sold my house for $100,000. I need $50,000 cash. Well, no, you don't need $50,000 cash. Well, the buyer or the owner of the car, is going to give me a break. The regular $55,000 is giving me, a discount if I pay in cash. So I need the $50,000. Well, we can't do that. And it's a pain. They just won't do it. It'll take forever to get the money. And then you'll jump through a bunch of hoops, fill out paperwork. Why do you need this? And they might even want receipts. I've heard that happening now. Come on. But that's what you're dealing with. It's their game. It's their casino. It's their money. It's their poker chips. Once you understand that, then it all makes sense. And then you can't be angry because it's your fault at that point. Don't get mad when the bank screws you. Understand you're playing in their casino. You're volunteering your energy in there. And in exchange, you get digital poker chips. And if you want to get them out, they might not let you get them out into a physical poker chip. They don't have to. But they can say, well, we'll give you that cashier's check, so that you can pay for that car. It's just like cash. Well, you might think it is. Actually, it isn't, because it's a cashier's check. It's only as good as the, integrity of that bank. When you get into a banking crisis, when things start falling apart like they did in 2008, when the banks didn't trust each other and they weren't going to loan to each other, if you've got a cashier's check from one bank, you take it to another bank, they don't have to honor it. Because they'll look at it and say, that bank, I don't know. They might be going under. I don't trust them. Do they have, I don't know. And they don't have to accept that cashier's check. Another bank doesn't. And sometimes they don't. So be aware that it's not sound money. It's not money that exists outside of the banking system, outside of the government. See, it only exists because they allow that money to work. For the full faith and credit of the United States government, backing this up. It only exists and has value because the government mandates it and the system protects it. That's it. What I'm after and what everybody should be after is having money that works no matter what. If the banks are closed, if the government shuts down, it's still money that works. That's the key. You want money that works outside of any government or any entity. It's money that has to stand alone on its own merits. That's real money. That's why gold's always been so important, because it stands on its own. Everybody knows what gold is. Everybody knows you can't destroy it. It's something that holds value to where it's like, I know what it is, and I can take it and use it for something else. It doesn't have to have a government stamp on it. It's gold. Silver, same way. It's silver. All the world around, it's silver. You can use it. And now we have new digital assets like Bitcoin, like Litecoin, and even DigiByte. You have all these crypto assets that stand on their own. They run on their own independent networks of computers. They have code that defines what they are. You know what the rules are. That's why I like cryptocurrency. I know what the rules are. You can't change the rules. They've defined it. This is what it is. We're all playing the game together. We all agree on it. Is what it is. That's the game. Banks and governments change the rules all the time. And they might say, hey, we're just going to create more money because we need more stimulus, or we need to reduce inflation by producing more money. Which is the definition of inflation. Producing money. Inflating the money. But see, they can change the rules. It's their system, their casino. Once you're inside of it, you're locked in, you're hosed, you're screwed. Understand that. So find money that stands alone, outside, and will function outside of any government, any central bank, anything, just stands alone, stands on its own merit. That's the kind of money I want. That's the kind of money we should all be pursuing. At that point, if we all did that, or not even all of us, many of us did that, the whole wrecked system would have to change or it would collapse. At that point, we would be valued, our energy would be valued by a sound form of money that would hold that energy, because it's a finite supply. Bitcoin, Litecoin, DigiByte, there's only so many to go around. It's defined in the code. It's a limited supply. You can't just create more of them. So when you get some, you have them. And you can say, well, why is it only $50 for one Litecoin when, it was $400 just, a year and a half ago? Doesn't matter. You still have it. And as you go through this breaking economic system that's the dollar, and they're still monkeying around and playing games with it, you're going to see dollar price changes in cryptocurrencies and in all assets, because that's just what happens. The thing is, you still have, it's a big pie, only so many slices. You've got a slice of that pie. Today it might be $1 for it. Tomorrow it might be $10. Doesn't matter. You still got the pie. Neighbor doesn't have a piece of the pie. I got pie. I can eat this pie if I want to. You have something in your possession. Doesn't matter what the cost is. It is what it is. Your house can cost you $100,000. Then they say it's worth $300,000. Does that make a difference in your life? No. Not unless you want to go out and sell it, and try and get more Federal Reserve notes, if that's what you're after. But those are just a diminishing return. Over the long term, you want to live in that house. So it really doesn't matter what the value is, other than maybe your ego. It doesn't matter. The house is the house. You can say it's worth $1 million. Then they'll tax you more on it. Then you wish it weren't worth that much. But it doesn't matter unless you sell that house and do something with that money. Then you get in the same old situation. It's like, okay, well, I got $100,000. Went to $1 million. Take that. Where do I put it? Put it in the banking system? Okay, how do I access it? And you see, you're back in that vicious circle, that vampire casino. Have assets in your possession. The governments can't take away. That's what cryptocurrency allows and affords for you. They can't take it away. It's yours. You hold it in your own possession. It runs on an independent network. There's super power to that, and a tremendous sovereign power to that. And the reason why the price doesn't reflect it is because the world doesn't reflect it yet. The world doesn't understand it yet. Most people don't understand it yet. When they do, and there are people out there that do, and they're hoarding it, and they're hanging on to it, and they're not getting rid of it, because they know at some point that purchasing power of that asset that they have will be recognized for its true value. So if you're upset that it's $50 for a Litecoin, you should be upset that you didn't buy anymore. This is a gift, absolute gift. When it takes off and the true value is found, you're not going to be able to get it. You're just not. It will be like Bitcoin. You're going to look at it and say, even though it's $20,000 a Bitcoin, when it was $70,000, it's a tremendous hit on the price. You're going to look at it right now and say, I can't afford $20,000 Bitcoin. Why wasn't I around when it was $100? I would have bought a bunch of them. Would you have? Because you're around right now when Litecoin's $50. Are you buying a bunch of them? Don't complain when it gets to the point that you can't afford it, when you had an opportunity to acquire it. It's on you. It's on you to play their game. If you want to play in the vampire casino, it's on you. If you want to invest in something that's going to be a form of money that you can hold in your own possession, that don't have to ask for permission to use it, that is completely independent and will survive when a government collapses, will survive when the central banking system collapses, then you should be buying Litecoin. It's just that simple. It's independent, sound money outside of any control of any centralized agency. Don't complain when you don't have any, when you could have bought it for $50. That's just what it comes down to. Sometimes you just got to go with your gut. You know, if your gut tells you to do it, you better do it. If for some reason you think that you shouldn't, then don't do it. Maybe it's your path to fail in this life. Maybe that's just it. I mean, we don't all win. We don't all succeed. We don't all make the best decisions. Trust me, I know. Firsthand. And you look back and you think, why didn't I do that? Why, you know, I knew I should have done that. How many times you told yourself that? I knew I should have done that. And you didn't do it. And so here you are. Don't make that mistake again. I'm serious. Do your own homework. Do your own research. Look into Litecoin. Understand what it is. Understand the sovereignty that it can bring to you. I mean, look into other coins too. I just talk about Litecoin because I've done my research. To me, that's it. That's the standard. It is. And that's no hit on XRP. XRP is doing well today, you know. And it's probably, my gut instinct says, you know, you're probably going to see some resolution to this lawsuit. And you got people that already know that that's coming, that XRP SEC thing. And so that's why you're seeing the price go up. That's my gut feeling. Could be completely wrong, though. I don't know. I'm not following XRP that much. But, you know, that was my first thought. So I'll go with it. But investigate those projects that you like. Investigate those things that you think are going to hold value and that you're comfortable with. Things that you can use, not things that are just completely illiquid and you can't get rid of them if you know, the price apparently shoots up because, you know, it's got $100 in volume. Well, you can't get rid of it. You want something that serves the purpose as money, that is very liquid, that you can use anywhere. That's why I like Litecoin. Very liquid. Go anywhere. Buy it and sell it. So anyway, it's Friday. We got happy hour later, 4 p.m. Central Time on Litecoin Lisa's YouTube channel. You can watch it here, the simulcast, or you can join the chat. That's where the chat's at. It's on Litecoin Lisa's YouTube channel. Go search it. Watch us at 4 p.m. Central Time. It's a little chilly out. I'll have to get out the dark drinks and maybe get some whiskey or bourbon and light the cigar, and let's talk about some truth, some crypto, what's going on in the world. Tomorrow's the 24th. Supposedly that's a big day. Something's going to happen. I don't know. We'll see, huh? All right. We'll talk about it on Happy Hour. Check us out, 4 p.m. Central Time, Litecoin Lisa's channel. As always, you got to trust yourself. That's what it comes down to. You can listen to me. Go do your own research. If what I say resonates with you, you feel good about it, well, then do it. You know, it's up to you. And you got to trust yourself. Follow your own instincts so you don't blame someone else for your mistakes. Don't make the mistakes of listening to someone else. Make mistakes on your own by trusting your gut. Seriously, listen to yourself. Trust yourself. All right? Love you all. Have a wonderful Friday. Thanks for watching.